Leaders of some of the world's biggest economic powers arriving in the Canadian Rockies today for the G7 summit. President Trump will arrive in Canada later this evening. With more on this, I want to bring in senior White House correspondent Selena Wang. Selena, this comes amid the Israeli-Iran conflict, of course. So what can we expect from this meeting?
Yeah, and that conflict will lose large over the summit. I mean, the world is on edge right now. But in addition to the Israeli-Iran conflict, the world leaders, along with President Trump, they're going to be discussing the war in Ukraine, trade, the global economy, as many of our G7 trading partners are deeply concerned about the president's tariffs. But the president, he has already been holding calls with world leaders ahead of this summit, including with Russia's Vladimir Putin. Trump said yesterday that Putin called him to wish him a happy birthday and also to discuss tensions in the Middle East. According to Russian state media, Putin offered to mediate the conflict between Israel and Iran. Now, President Trump, he's also spoken to the EU Commission leader. According to the EU Commission leader, she said that they talked about the impact this could have on global energy markets as we've seen oil prices surge. And President Trump, he's making clear that the U.S. had nothing to do with the attacks on Iran overnight. The president delivering this stark warning, posting on social media the following, quote, "If we are attacked in any way, shape, or form by Iran, the full strength and might of the U.S. armed forces will come down on you at levels never seen before. However, we can easily get a deal done between Iran and Israel and end this bloody conflict." This also comes as U.S. officials have said that America is not involved militarily in the Israeli attacks, but the U.S. is helping Israel to defend itself, including shooting down some of those missiles. And the U.S. has also shifted some military resources to the region. So when it comes to the G7, there will be a lot on the docket when it comes to conversations during those bilateral meetings.
Selena, I know this almost sounds like a counterintuitive question in a situation like this, but they have to be asked. Where does all of this leave the Iran nuclear talks?
Yeah, this is really up in the air right now. I mean, for weeks before those initial Israeli strikes on Thursday, the president had been talking about how the U.S. and Iran were on the verge of a deal. In fact, just hours, Phil, before those first strikes began, the president made very clear, I was at that White House event, he made very clear that he preferred a diplomatic solution, even warning Iran not to launch an attack, saying it could derail these ongoing U.S.-Iranian talks. But then the day after, the president changed his tune, saying that he believed the Israeli attacks could actually pressure Iran to come back to the negotiating table from a weaker position, suggesting that there could be a positive outcome to it when it comes to reaching a nuclear deal. Well, today, the U.S., Steve Witkoff, President Trump's special envoy, was supposed to be in Oman meeting with Iranian counterparts for the 6th round of nuclear talks. And Phil, those have been canceled by Iran.